evening and welcome to the book signing for Donna Scruggs. Donna Scruggs is a Nashville native who has a passion for writing. She's been doing it for years since she was a child and found that it was a way to console others, to help others, and to encourage them. So I just wanted to know, who from here is from Nashville? Like, you Nashville natives? Okay, wonderful. She's a Nashville native, like I said, and I've known her from being a student at the University of Phoenix, and I think in everything that Donna does, she is inspiring. She has a vision or a goal. She goes after it, and when you are a person who's connected, and I say connected, I mean connected to God, you're constantly getting creative downloads, and so I admire her for following her dreams, for setting her intentions and making those things happen. So I want you to feel comfortable here. We have a master flutist here tonight, also Michael Morton, but for right now, I'd like to introduce the woman of the hour, Donna Scruggs.
I had a friend of me and Fatia. Her name is Selah Pearson. I wanted her to recite some of her poetry, but we found out when I was looking for her, I couldn't find her. And then I said, well, okay, is she screening her calls or something? So something just told me to go to Facebook, because, you can find a lot of people on Facebook. And so went to Facebook and looked and discovered that Selah passed away in February. I was so sad, and I had tears, and tears just fell down, because we shared a lot of things, words, hugs, and all of that together. So I said, I couldn't go through this book signing without sharing some of words from Selah. And I was looking for her poetry, but I've been so busy the last few days. I just want to read something for one of her programs about her mission and her vision. Her name of her business, I would say, is Akonki Creations, and her mission was to inspire and encourage and empower others toward positive personal growth. Personal and professional experiences are brought to life through the artistry of the story and song and verse, and those were her words. And these were also her words as far as her vision statement: to instill in the minds of people of all ages an awareness of the need. Okay, it is to guide others to create the greater vision for self by remaining focused on their goals and dreams. And I just wanted to read just a little bit of that. It want to be like a funeral, but just to remember her, because she was a part of us as far as writing is concerned. And she also taught here. She was an instructor here. Instructor and a student here. But I have a poem, a couple poems I'd like to share from my book, Into Another Journey. And the first one, is called Broke But Not Broke Down. I may be a little weary when worry comes to mind, but nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, I'm doing just fine. I know to call on Jesus. He's always somewhere around. He knows that I need him, for I'm broke but not broke down. Whenever I feel alone and somewhat in despair, I look to the hills with which cometh my help, for I know he'll be right there. I may be carrying a burden so heavy with complaint, no complaint or sound. Still, I look to Jesus, for I'm broke, but not broke down. So many times I think and may not say a word. I'm just trying to keep it together, remaining seen and not heard. There's a lot to choose to keep in my heart that I have found, but most of all is my faith, because I'm broke and not broke down. That was one piece. I also had I have a few love poems in this book. It is mostly past experiences, and I want to share Special Love. Special love, you have made me the happiest person on earth. You have been there with me through ups and downs. You were there when I wasn't feeling so well. You comforted me even when you were tired. Your smiles give the assurance that you care and that you like the way I walk and like the way I talk and the way I express myself. You listen to my problems, and you're not selfish of sharing your own. At times when I would shed a tear, you open your hand to catch my tear before it fell. I like the good times we shared together. You have shown so much patience in our friendship. Your honesty gives me a sense of security. Your thoughtfulness and consideration overwhelms my heart. And for this, you are worth having for the rest of my life. I have one more I want to share. Hand in hand with God. When there are times you feel afraid and trouble trod your path, keep walking straight and keep the faith. God will handle your wrath. You may not see his footsteps or feel his presence there. Just having faith in him alone will keep you in his care. His voice you cannot hear, but there's something inside your soul that lets me know that he is real and fully in control. He doesn't have to subdue anything he asks. Just simply trust in his every word. Join in the daily tasks. It's by his grace that things happen just the way they do. So continue to walk hand in hand. He'll guide you the whole way through. He walks beside us every day. And though these times are tough, take his hand and follow him. He knows the road gets rough. And when we've reached the very end of the road we've trod, remember, you didn't make it alone. Know that it was God. Okay. I'm going to call on Fatia to come up to do a recite a poem. Then after she's done, then Miss Edith, she'll come up and recite a poem. And we have another reader before I come up, and we're going to have Michael Morton to accompany me once I come back up here.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me. And first, I have to give you a big congratulations.
Thank you.
I know the journey you were on, even getting this book done and getting it composed in the way that you liked it. So I congratulate you. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
You initially asked me to come on the behalf of our friend Sela as Donna mentioned, who recently passed away, and we just found out about it. And Celia was a beautiful, beautiful person. Spirit, she was my New York sister. Just wonderful, really wonderful. And you know, if you were blessed to know her, then you know her presence or her lack of presence in settings like this, you know, is definitely missed. So I did find a poem of hers that I'm going to dedicate to you on her behalf. I don't know how to really describe how she spoke when she shared her poetry and her words, but it came from someplace really deep within with her. This one is called Be Still Our Hearts. Listen to the silence casting a spell upon us as the echo of the wind lashes about our ears. Be still our hearts and listen to the distant sounds of life floating on a breeze, causing waves to rock inside. Quiet little murmurings stirring within our souls, making us want to jump with joy, for we are acknowledging God. Sorry, I lost my place. Feel the presence of the Almighty as our hearts sing out loud of the stillness and peace that is focused on the inside. Let's take that calm and peacefulness and hug it to our sides. Then allow for the stillness to become a part of our lives. Go about your day free from restlessness, secure in the knowledge that to reach your God, you only have to still your heart. And I also dedicate that to the memory of Miss Celia Pearson. Thank you.
Thank you, Patia. And I'm going to dedicate this to Donna. This is my first time meeting Donna today, and just listening to your heart as you speak lets me know that in honor of your day, I am to pass this on to you, but I'm going to have to take it home and correct 2 mistakes, but I will get it back to you. I always say when I present, I teach from failures, mistakes, and experiences. That keeps me humble. It keeps me in remembrance of it was not for God's redeeming glory, I wouldn't be here. The title of this is The Lady and the Gentleman. My special anointed creation, my chosen one above all, who will protect, love, and care for the gentleman that was designed by me in you for my glory. Because of you, dear lady, every male that was designed by me will grow in truth, love, and spirit because of the special teachings that you will share from the innermost parts of your heart. Every gift has been strategically placed inside to be developed and used for His glory. No matter how hard life gets, no matter how many tears you shed, no matter how tough the trials become, you will always find a way to honor the glory of the Lord. You, dear lady, in spite of failures, torn relationships, lost loved ones, suffering hurt so deep you can barely catch your breath, still, at the end of the day, you will sing praises to me with trust, faith, and love that cannot be matched by any other. And because I am in you and you are in me, no devil can stand up to this power that I have sealed in you. You, dear heart, are truly a lady, and I, dear heart, are the gentleman that created you. As I breathe the breath of life inside your soul, I say, take your place in my spirit and live to create and protect and be bold with the divine assignments that will expand centuries that have been placed in you by my spirit. I made you. I love you. I cherish you. I bask in your strength, your boldness, your love that you have for me. From now through eternity, I will watch over you, love you, guide you, and protect you as you carry out all the divine assignments that I have placed in you. Every male will be birthed from your beginning for centuries to come. Prophets, warriors, husbands, fathers, all gentlemen just like me. No matter what failures they experience, no matter how many times they fall, they are still gentlemen because they were created in the spirit by me, the Father. This gentleman humbly salutes you for the powers that are to be birthed from you for centuries to come. Wake up with joy and take your rightful place sincerely with love. From the gentleman that created life. Amen.
And now we'll have another reading. You ready? Okay, wonderful.
Good evening, everyone. I haven't met Don. I haven't known Donna long, but she has such a sweet spirit, and she asked me to do something, and I'm sorry for coming in late. And it's a busy day, but we're gonna just go through it, and want you to know that this is a reading actually from her book. It's called My Speaking God. I gotta put my glasses on. Hold on. My speaking God, lift up mine eyes, my speaking God. Forgive me, for I've sinned. Stretch out my hands, please, let me touch your spirit filled within. My speaking God, how grateful am I, having you by my side, to rest my head upon your breast. My problems you have subside. My speaking God, will you be the voice that guide my tongue when I praise? Then allow me to rise with joy, now and many days. My speaking God, if you don't mind, I need a word today to get me through this troublesome path. These trials, they must not stay. My speaking God, I heard the sound of waves across the sea. It is your spirit that touched my soul and saved a wretch like me. That's my speaking God. I'm Miss Wanda Clay, and I thank you.
Hello. My name is Teresa. I was a friend of Celia Pearson. I met her one night when I did the poem, What Shall I Tell My Children Who Are Black by Margaret Burroughs over at the community garden with Earth Matters. We both worked a lot with the nonprofit organization, and Celia had just been a light. I got to spend some time with her before her passing in Macon, Georgia, back in February. And she was still cracking jokes and laughing and just being her normal, beautiful self up until her last day. She was just a really pleasure to have someone like her to be called a friend. And so I'll recite the poem by Dr. Margaret Burroughs, who is a woman who lived until the age of 92. I had the pleasure to meet her. She established the first Black History Museum, and other Black History museums after her used her model to become sustainable organizations to share our culture with the world and preserve it. What shall I tell my children who are Black of what it means to be a captive in this dark skin? What shall I tell my dear ones, fruit of my womb, of how beautiful they are when everywhere they turn they are faced with an abhorrence of everything that is Black? The night is black. The boogeyman is black. A black cow gives no milk. A black hen lays no eggs. Storm clouds, black. Black is evil, and evil is black. What shall I tell my dear ones, raised in a white world where white has been made to represent all that is good, fine, pure, and decent, where heaven is white and clouds are white and dolls, and of course heaven with Jesus surely is this white place with angels robed in white and cotton candy and ice cream and ruffled Sunday dresses, dream houses and long sleek Cadillacs, all white. What can I say, therefore, when my child comes home to me in tears because a playmate at school has called him Black, big-lipped, flat-nosed, and nappy-headed? How shall I lift up his head, get him to square his shoulders, look his adversaries in the eye, confident in the knowledge of his own worth, serene under his brown sable skin, and proud of his own beauty? What can I do to give him strength, that he may come through life's adversaries as a whole human being, unwarped and human in this world of biased laws and inhumane practices, that he might survive, and survive he must? For who knows, perhaps this Black child here bears the genius to discover the cure for cancer, or chart the course for exploration of the universe. So he must survive for the good of humanity. He must and will survive. I have drunk deeply of late from the fountain of my Black culture, sat at the knee of and learned from Mother Africa. I have found the truth of my Black culture, sat at the knee of and learned and discovered the truth so often obscured and omitted. And I find that I have much to say to my Black children. I will lift up their heads in proud Blackness with the story of their fathers and their fathers' fathers. And I shall take them into a way back time of kings and queens who ruled the Nile and measured the stars and discovered the laws of mathematics. I will tell them this and more. I will tell them of a Black people upon whose backs have been built the wealth of 3 continents. I will tell them the knowledge of his heritage, and this knowledge shall be his weapon and his armor. I will make him strong enough to win any battle he may face. And since this story is so often obscured, I must sacrifice to find that history. I will find it for my children, even as I sacrifice to feed, clothe, and shelter them. So this I will do for them because I love them. None will do it for me. In years to come, I believe, because I have armed them with the truth, that my children and my children's children will venerate me
because it is the truth and only the truth that shall set us free. Thank you.
A mother's struggle versus a struggle of a brother's. As I glide through the highways, I think how life must have been to strive through the rough times and imagine how it was then. To see the struggle of a mother just wanting to be so proud, to tell the story of being poor while others shout aloud. Education is my game, and this is what I bet. There's not many mothers giving up things to get what she wants. Not yet. Finally fighting to see the light and for God to see her through and her offspring to be provided for faith and strength that comes from you. Yes, times has been a struggle. It's always been on my mind to learn from others' mistakes and keep the past behind. Locked up in a world a brother did not choose, and remembering all the things you could really lose. Your knowledge you no longer have. To the authorities they belong. Strength God must give me to prove me ever so wrong. Race with reality and seeing things my way. Success is not the answer for a poor woman trying to make it through each day. Which would you choose? Let your knowledge be your guide. Keep yourself a striving while showing God you tried. Stand tall with dignity. Never let society take your place. Only you will know the pathways to finally winning the race. A brother's struggle cannot match the struggle of a mother. She tries so hard to set aside selfishness and stress for love for one another. As I travel on these highways, realizing the hardship this day, so strong, so proud, so determined to beat the price we pay.